Welcome to
From Research to Recess,
where Hilary and Dee Dee bring research to life with practical teaching ideas.
Let's Go!
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really glad that we got a chance to get together again and that we're going to be kind of going over the new format we decided upon for the podcast, which is, go ahead and tell them, Hilary. Is that okay? Can I toss it to you?
Yes, you can toss it to me. So we are going to surprise each other with a research article on air.
Yeah.
We're going to share the results of a research article and then kind of talk through them, some practical ideas for the classroom, and
kind
of a surprise.
It is sort of a surprise. Now, this first one, I don't know, if we do have a lot of practical ideas, but the first one I'm bringing to you sounds really fun. I'm kidding. I'm being sarcastic. It doesn't sound fun at all. Tutoring young children at risk of developing reading difficulties. And this is a study from 2025, so it's a pretty recent one. And I'll link the study in the show notes so people can look that up if they want to. But what this study was a random controlled test, 72 Danish students, ages 6 to 7, and those that were identified as having reading difficulties during their first year of school. And then we had a structured literacy approach to learning. And so kind of what the big idea behind this study was, what kind of reasoning skills improved as a result of this as a result of this intervention. I got words. I can come up with the words. So kind of the big question was, it going to improve executive function? So does it help improve their ability to pay attention and inhibition to try new things? Does it help them blend or extend their working memory? And does this repeated practice strengthen those neural systems? So we kind of already know that kind of approach works. But one of the things that was kind of interesting was looking at the positive trend that they saw with the ability of students to be able to pay attention for a longer period of times. So overall, their executive function didn't change. So they didn't see a drastic improvement in their executive function, but their ability to focus for longer periods of time did improve. And their impulsiveness improved as a result of this small group instruction. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I was kind of thinking, like, wait a minute, isn't that kind of the same thing? Isn't executive function, ability to pay attention, the same thing? It's really not. It's how many balls can they keep in the air at one time? And so I thought that was kind of an interesting finding that they had. So one of the things that the big takeaways for teachers is want to make sure that they have, that targeted tutoring. And that's something maybe, Hilary, you have some input on. Oftentimes I'm asked, when do you start intervention groups, in that primary grade, in that kindergarten grade? And so I'd love to kind of talk about that. Kind of what does that look like now compared to maybe what it was when we were doing guided reading? So that's kind of something I thought maybe we would kind of chat about.
I feel like it's starting like right away in kindergarten, that they are starting those targeted groups. I think the school that I've worked so long at, we do 2 weeks of phase in, and then they start, testing students, and yes.
Yeah.
That targeted instruction.
I agree. That's sort of what I'm seeing from other schools as well. And that kind of aligns with what I've been continuing to learn about, is that, the longer we wait, the steeper the hill becomes. So we want to have that targeted instruction starting right away. What's interesting is that, this article sort of gives us two things. One, their literacy skills will improve, but two, their ability to have attention to task will also improve. I was going to say something really along that line. I guess when I was thinking about how small group or intervention has changed, there has been a shift away from pulling students over for just 30 minutes. If it's the classroom teacher, right? So if it's just a classroom teacher, there used to be a, guided reading, come to my table, and kids would come and hang out for 20 to 30 minutes, and then they would go back and students would be doing centers. And the research that I've been reading is to have shorter increment of time where students are there and really work on skill-based activities.
And we were talking about in one of our podcast episodes, where we covered the book, about how a little bit each day is better than a lot all in one day.
Yeah.
Do you remember that episode? And so I think that is important, that even if you just get a little bit of practice in, but you do it every day, it's better than pulling kids for 45 minutes one day a week.
Right. Kind of along the same idea of like, if you're going to, make healthy choices, it's better to make lots of little healthy choices that add up versus, going out and, exercising all day long. First of all, not likely to happen. What's that?
One day of exercise.
One day of exercise. Yeah, exactly. I thought this was just kind of an interesting little takeaway. Oftentimes we see the students who really have the biggest needs also have other things stacked upon them, like attention issues, right? The ability to stay on task sometimes is something that we see. So I like that this showed progress in that respect as well. They're going to wiggle because that's how old they are. But, bringing them to that small group is going to see benefits beyond just the literacy instruction. So math instruction, while listening to read aloud, while doing other things, you'll see some benefits from that as well.
Yeah, I think that's something we really don't think about a lot. When we think about our small group instruction, we think about how are their reading skills going to improve? How are their math skills going to improve? But we don't really think about how their ability to focus on a task and pay attention. We don't really think about those things. That's a great article. Gives teachers something new to think about.
I kind of like the article, but then as I was sharing that with you, I was like, it's kind of a boring article. I'm like, it's kind of boring, but I mean, it is. Sorry, I have the boring one. Hilary has fun ones. She's only going to have really fun ones. But, it's a little dry. There's not a big, huge aha, but it does make me think differently about the benefits. It goes beyond the skill. It's also, helping the student all around. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, the next episode, we will have Miss Hilary bring an article, and I'm excited. She's going to, share something really fun, so I can't wait to see that. And so we're going to make these super quick. So we are like at 8 minutes. What? Who are we?
Yeah.
All right.
We're new.
I know. People. It's our voices and our faces, but somebody has taken over my long-windedness. If you guys have something you want us to jump into, like some kind of practice that you have in your school or some targeted instruction that you would like us to look into, please be sure to send us a note, and we'll be happy to look for research to help support whatever it is that you need help with. Yeah. All right.
Fun.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.